So to start, can you tell us a bit about the operation that you're running here?
The operation. I have like a pig farm who is not really a pig farm. So I have my pigs in the woods, in parks of at least 1 hectare, and they're completely in nature. They don't have a building or a shed or to get them where they can shelter, in fact, because it's a breed, a very ancient breed who doesn't need any shelter though. So they live in groups, they live in families. It's one family is 7 sows and 1 boar, and they reproduce themselves. And all the little ones, after 3 months, I take them away from the park, from the family, to get them fattened. And then after 2 years more, they are ready to go to the slaughterhouse eventually, because it's the meaning that we eat them.
And how many families do you have?
So for the moment I have 2 families, and I'm now going to put up a 3rd one to do the reproduction.
And where do you sell the meat that you produce?
The meat is sold locally, so with the small laboratory for where I cut the meat and make my products. It's very small. So I don't have the agreement for the European market. So I don't have the European agreement. So I can sell within a radius of 80 kilometers, and it's restaurants, more the high quality restaurants, so star restaurants, and then local people.
Okay. And what are the challenges in only selling locally like that, opposed to selling to a supermarket, for example?
The challenges, well, because it's local, you have to more specify in your quality of your product, instead of producing masses. So small quantities, small production, but high quality, very natural, organic, so people are attracted to buy this local food instead of going to the supermarket and buy meat from wherever around the world.
So it's a slightly different market and supermarket.
Well, it's a different market for the moment, and I hope with small production like this that we can try to get the people conscious that it's better to purchase their meat and their products locally instead of all over the world.
So what are the nutritional benefits of the meat that you make compared to?
The nutritional benefits. So my pigs, the Mangalica pigs, it's a very ancient race. They live always in nature, so they feed themselves with what they find in nature. For the rest, I feed them with also locally produced fruits and vegetables. Whey of goat milk. So all the products I give them, I feed them, are also locally, and this gives a meat, a completely different kind of meat as we know that from pigs raised in industrial ways. So it's more marbled. It has a little bit more fat, but the fat is good for. It's healthy fat. It contains a lot of omega-3, because they're not pushed. They're not fattened with products who push them to a weight in the shortest amount of time.
Okay. And does the way you grow your produce your meat? Does it have any environmental benefits?
Well, the industrial way, then they put in buildings on 9 square meters, they put 12 pigs, and there they raise them just up to 120, 130 kilo. And all the manure they have to spread anyway in somewhere in nature. They have to get rid of that. So it's a very high pressure where there's a lot of concentration of these big farms, these big farms. There's a lot of concentration of manure which they have to get rid of. So even that is also a product they have to in any way transport a long way from where they raise the pigs. Instead of with this small production, I only have between 15 and 20 pigs per hectare. So every 10,000 square meters, I have, for 10,000 square meters, I have only between 15 and 20 pigs. So their manure, it's just absorbed by the soil and by nature. I have